If you have tried CoverGirl products, you may be familiar with the specific scent. And if that scent reminds you of Noxzema, there is a reason for that. We need to start with the Noxzema Chemical Company, headquartered in Baltimore. This was back in the 50s. Their staple product was Noxzema cream to give the relief from sunburns. However, since it was for sunburn relief, you can imagine that it wasn't really purchased and repurchased all that much. There was a lady, Mary, that worked at SSC&B Advertising, and her suggestion was that they reposition the Noxzema cream as a face cream in beauty that women could use to wash their faces. And ta-da! In 1958, CoverGirl was born. They didn't set out to become a massive makeup company. That wasn't their goal. So they decided to start with 2 medicated products. So that is why there's that Noxzema smell in CoverGirl products, or a lot of them. So they started with a liquid makeup and a compressed powder. Since they were medicated products, the company claimed that these were products that were good for your skin. They even went so far to say that it was better than not using makeup at all. And in 1961, those 2 products went national. The liquid makeup and the compressed powder, it came in 3 different shades. And there was a different colored compact that represented which shade you were buying. White was for light, red for medium, and brown for dark. The dark shade they eventually ended up renaming as brunette. And in 1962, they launched a co-ed high school CoverGirl contest. Now, co-ed is the name of the magazine that this contest was in. Not only did they advertise in that co-ed magazine, they also advertised in Redbook, McCall's, Teen, Women's Day, Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, Glamour, Life, and Look magazine. And by 1962, they clearly knew that they had a hit on their hands, because the sales volume that year reached over half of the all-time record for just the Noxzema skin cream. 1964, CoverGirl was already marketing to contour and highlight. They were already suggesting that women buy more than 1 shade in order to contour. So yeah, marketing genius right there, right? They said to use the lighter shades to accentuate or bring forward features that need emphasized. Circles or lines under the eyes, they said to apply a lighter color of your foundation and then put your regular foundation over it. Face too round or too square, use a darker color of base or powder on your jawline from your ears to your chin. Nose too long, apply a darker shade to the tip. I personally thought that was really interesting that they were marketing it that way. Then we move on to 1964, and this is when they added lipsticks. They had 8 shades initially to the line: Real Red, Clear Crimson, Pure Scarlet, True Rose, Natural Peach, Pink Beige, Pastel Pink, and Natural Frost. In 1996, the company decided to rename. Instead of Noxzema Chemical Company, it was now named to Noxel Corporation, which I feel like that makes sense because, yeah, I don't know if I'd really want to be buying makeup from something that had chemical in their brand name. I don't know. What about you? Also in this year, they decided to move some of the manufacturing in-house. Prior to this, the products in the packaging was all being made by private label firms. They opened a new plant in Cockeysville, Baltimore County, Maryland. In 1967, we saw more lipstick shades being added, and this time they were called flashers. And a brush-on blusher was introduced in 3 shades. It was called Glow Lightly. In 1968, they shifted gears. Instead of marketing it as a medicated makeup, they shifted gears to call it clean makeup, which again, isn't it so interesting? It just seems like they were really ahead of their time with the different trends. In 1969, they revamped some of their packaging. Again, we had more lipsticks in Pearlies this time. That was in 4 shades. In 1970 is when we got some new face products, just a range of CoverGirl Super Sheer Cosmetics, said to provide a natural look. One is when they launched into eye product. They introduced a line of 47 products that included mascaras, eyeshadow, and eyebrow pencils. In 1972, the FDA had restricted the use of this ingredient, but Noxell Corporation, they didn't have to freak out and shift gears and stuff, because the year before they had already taken out that ingredient in their products. They still had other what was called bactericides so they could still consider them and market them as cosmetic, as makeup that was medicated. Also in 1972, we had some more product launches. There was the Gloss and Gleam, a compact blusher and lip gloss. We had a super gloss for the lips, shiny shadow, and cream eyeshadow in pots. In 1973, they launched Peeper Sticks eyeshadow crayons. They realized that their initial target market, the teenage girls, they were growing. So they began to introduce products that were geared towards women over the age of 25. In 1976, they introduced the One Stroke eye color. 1977 is when they decided to get into nail polish with the launch of nail slicks. Not stop with the product launches. In 1978, they launched Professional Mascara, Colormatics Eyeshadow, a 9-hour cheek color, liquid blush, all day oil control liquid makeup in 5 shades. In 1981, now the company had 3 different lines based on your skin type. They had regular, oil control for the oily skins, and the moisture wear for dry skins. And by 1984, they increased their advertising again. So there was a study that said that 97% of women at that time were seeing a CoverGirl message on average once a week. That's a lot. So they were just all over the board. TV, magazines, newspapers. And in 1985, it was also stated that 1 in every 2 consumers were purchasing a CoverGirl powder, either the oil control or the moisture wear powder. 1988, we had some changing of the guards. The Procter & Gamble acquired Noxell Corporation, and it was actually in a stock swap deal that was valued at $1.3 billion with a B, dollars. And according to the Cosmetic and Skin, that Procter & Gamble, the reason that they were interested in it was simply because they did not have a makeup line in their portfolio, and they wanted one. And by 1988, in that annual report, their net earnings was now $51 million. What category have they not been in yet that they maybe should be? Well, if you would guessed, perfumes. In 1990, they launched their first fragrance called Navy. It was described as a floral oriental scent. I do not remember that fragrance, don't remember wearing it or anything. Pricing for the fragrance started at $9.50 for 0.60 spray ounce and went up to $22.50 for 1.5 ounce of perfume spray. Now in 2015, again, we had a changing of the guards. Coty acquired it from Procter & Gamble, and it is reported that that deal was $15 billion. And if you've ever worked at a place where, new management comes in, what do they always do? They have to change something. Never fails, right? Well, of course, Coty came in and they decided that they wanted to change up the company's tagline. So CoverGirl's tagline went from easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl to I am what I make up. That is not catchy. They said that they changed this because they wanted to focus on that beauty standards aren't quite so standard and that you don't need makeup to be beautiful. All right, that's all good. If you were a skincare company, I could see saying hey, you don't need to have makeup to be beautiful. And I get their point, but you're a makeup company, so probably really shouldn't be promoting hey, you don't need makeup. You know what I mean? The point is to get people to buy makeup. But a really good thing that did happen in 2018 was they went cruelty free. Yay! Claps all around, applause all around. They became the largest makeup brand to go cruelty free. And just like, sometimes when the new management comes in, they make the change and see that it really, maybe we didn't need to change that. So guess what? They went back to the easy breezy, beautiful CoverGirl tagline. So that other tagline was only around for almost 2 years. In those couple years, they also didn't do TV advertising as much, and in 2019, they brought back the slogan and TV advertisements. And then 2020, we all know what happened in 2020. So you hear this history, and this has been a very innovative brand. So it only makes sense that they would not just be like, what are we going to do? But no. In 2020, they partnered with a digital delivery service, GoPuff, which I had never heard of, but they partnered with them to bring CoverGirl, Rimmel, and Sally Hansen products to the consumer at their doorstep. Over 25 products were available in over 80 cities at that time. I did check on the website, and CoverGirl, they are still available. You can still order from there. And in 2021, it is kind of amazing when you think about it that all those years and that they started out with as Noxzema, a face cream. It's kind of surprising. I feel like that they didn't get into skincare sooner, but in 2021, they launched into skincare. They had 5 products under the Clean Fresh label. And if you're like me, you wondered, why is it named CoverGirl? Where did that come from? It appears to have originated from Caroline, a junior copywriter who also worked at that ad agency where Mary was like, we need to, market this as a face cream. And it was suggested that the makeup covered your skin and that they were using models on the cover of magazines for their advertising. So that's, from what I could find, those kind of combination of things is how they came up with CoverGirl.